I've never felt like submit to the level. I've never felt like thinking this will last forever. They're just with me. You gotta tell them you like can all over me. When stars smile and move, wonder how look in your eyes, just dialing your number, fading to place the last two. Right in the how the moon reaches us. If you hold me tight, feeling happy so close, will this last long? I've never felt like submit to the level. I've never felt like thinking this will last forever. They're just with me. You gotta tell them you like can all over me. When stars smile and move, wonder how look in your eyes, just dialing your number, fading to place the last two. Right in the how the moon reaches us. If you hold me tight, feeling happy so close, will this last long? I've never felt like submit to the light.
Must have been the cats outside my room. Hello, people. How's everybody doing here tonight? Have a second here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. My Monday has been pretty good. Pretty good. So far, been lucky. Not heard any emails. Not heard any messages. What else did I do today? I mean, I woke up at my normal time and just chilled. Or not normal time. I guess normal time for when I'm on support lead. Oh, I need to start the train again. But my friend and I, we took this afternoon to play, to finish It Takes Two. And it finished way faster than I thought it would. But we got it done. Which is good. I enjoyed the game. I highly recommend if you have somebody that you know that you can play it with that hasn't played it, it's really good. I don't know how good it would be on a second playthrough, but who knows? And then we had this discussion that our DM was like, I want to give you guys some advice for playing in a horror campaign. And I was like, do I really need to listen to this? Do I really need to be here? And then we started talking about a couple of other things about builds for people and things like that. So started going into a few other things that just delayed us for a bit. Just delayed things in general. It didn't need to happen. Honestly, it probably didn't need to happen, but it's whatever. And that delayed me starting tonight, which sucks because again, I'm out at midnight, so I can be in bed early enough. Anything else happened today? I mean, not really. Not really. I mean, I was basically just chilling, watching some podcasts. I cleared out some quests in WoW. I just basically took it as a day to not think about anything until tonight. And tonight, we're thinking about Ace Attorney because I honestly don't know where we're going with Ace Attorney. There's got to be something I've missed. Something small that I have missed that I need to go interact with. That's like the only thing I can think of. Anything else? Like I said, it's been kind of a chill day. It's well, I guess the only other thing I did was I took my PC outside and air blasted it. Hit it with the compressed air. Because it's been a while since I've done that. I've actually been thinking of trying to find a way to get my PC to raise up a little bit because it's basically sitting on the carpet right now, which I know is terrible for it. But it has a lot of intakes, and I've been like, I could probably make it a little bit better if I was not having it sit on the carpet, but I like my desk space too much, so I've been thinking, how am I going to do that? I did think at one point about checking the old monitor stands I used to use. Now that I have monitor arms, those stands are just basically not getting any use at all. So I was thinking, where if two of them could support the weight of the PC? And I don't know the answer to that. It doesn't even have to be that far off the ground. It just needs to not be sitting on the carpet. And maybe the option is to just get the get the actual like base plates that the monitor stands, the monitors would sit on, and just put that underneath the PC. Because if I do that, that will get it. I mean, it'll get it off the carpet. I just don't know if they'll be able to hold without breaking. Other than that, there wasn't really that much going on today. I mean, I did my... Everything else I think has just been relatively normal. I've realized that there's one thing I have to do, and that's to change the sound settings, because I know how this emulator tends to behave. And just reset the emulator. Friend did not respond to me. Okay. He was asking, we're gonna do a Costco order tomorrow, and he was asking me questions about something he was thinking about trying to order from Costco. I think it's something we've ordered in the past, but I don't know if we've done. I don't remember if the last time we got it we went to Costco physically, or if this is something we ordered. I don't know. So who knows? Either way, I think we're good to go. I don't have a lot else to talk about today. Being on support lead sucks. It royally sucks. Because like I have to pay attention to both chats and my email basically the entire time I'm awake. And I have to keep my phone on like normal volume, not sleep volume, at night in case I need to get called. Because normally when I'm asleep, I put that shit on Do Not Disturb. If you are trying to reach me between the hours of about 30 minutes before I normally go to bed and about 30 minutes after I wake up, my phone's just not going to ring. I'll see your message when I'm awake. But like after that, you're not reaching me normally. Actually, you know what? That's one of the things. I'm still waiting for the people at work to add my points to the competition for doing the social media post. I'm gonna be really annoyed if I miss the really good the thing I want to get the second best version of it, just to do this. I'm gonna be real annoyed real fast. Admittedly, the only things I think I would ever use the tablet, the second tablet, the alternate tablet that I would use, the only things I would even care about them for would be like all free shit. It would basically just put YouTube and Twitch on it, and then you're sorted, and I don't need anything else. But yes, I think if I don't see it by Tuesday, by Wednesday, because they said it ended on the 30th, and they were gonna say within 72 hours of that is when they would have the points in the system. So if I don't see it by Wednesday, I'm gonna email the address again and be like, hey, was something wrong with my post? Did I need to do something else? Because as far as I understand, I followed all the rules that were laid out for me. So, all right, you know what? I'm done rambling. I feel like investigating. I feel like doing stuff. Let's investigate. So last time, we were out in the courtyard. We were out in the courtyard looking for new pieces of evidence. We don't have a ton. We currently have not heavy enough, which is talking about the weights not being heavy enough to lift Simon's body properly. We have a metal detector, which we haven't figured out what to use that on yet. And we have a crate of apples that we don't really know what to do with yet. So on the weights, you think? Maybe. I'll give it a shot. Hang on. Let me get out of this text. Because at this point, I'm trying anything. Because I thought I investigated everything. And I mean, we're loading from a save. So if we really, like, really plaster ourselves. That's a thing? I'm very confused, but all right, let's see where this leads. Detective Gumshoe, it's time for your secret weapon. They might not be made of metal. What does that change for us? How they float? Yes, sir. I was hoping for the metal detector. I don't get many chances to use this one. I'm actually kind of proud of it. Before we begin the search, let me go over how to use the metal detector, sir. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong one. Roommate's making adjustments to the Costco order that's going in tomorrow, so I'll probably I can do that like real fast off to the side. This metal detector uses sound. And this meter lets you know how close you are to a metal object. When you get close to a metal object, the metal detector will have a bigger reaction like this. When you get the biggest reaction, give me the order to examine that spot, sir. Now let's see what we've got. It's just a metal fence. And that's basically how you search for metal objects. Give me the instructions on where you want to search, sir. This is not what I thought. Hey, there's a reaction here too, sir. That's not how I thought we would get to use that. I was like, because my thought was that, okay, the crocodile ally swallowed something metal in order to try to hide it, because that's why she's been feeling bad. Let's check it out. Wait, huh? I found these here in the clumps of grass, sir. These are the weights used for that hoisting device. Were these intentionally hidden? There's 4 of them in all, sir. That many weights would be enough to lift Simon? The other weights that were used in the device were hidden? Why? Why are they over here? See? I'm really earning my keep today, aren't I, sir? The alligator! It scared me, pal. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It looks like the metal detector's reacting to this alligator. Really? Why? You sure it isn't just reacting to the weight still? It's a different reaction, sir, and it's definitely coming from the alligator. It's gone. Looks like it's scared of us. Oh, where did I put Regina's? Where did I put Regina's voice? We're using it here, I think. Or something like this.
I don't think so, Kay.
What?
If anything, I think Allie looks a little under the weather.
He's... I suppose that's what Allie, I guess that's what Warden Roland called it.
She didn't eat any of her food that the warden gave her yesterday. I think she might have eaten something bad.
I mean, I guess the metal detector could be reacting to whatever's the alligator ate. Oh, maybe she ate one of the weights. I doubt that even an alligator could ingest a 33-pound weight. But what could the metal detector be reacting to? Regardless, why were these weights hidden? Maybe we should take another look at the device on the well. Okay, I'd like you to recreate the after the show scene again. All right, leave it to me. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Why are you... Hey, the fuck are you trying to get my attention for? Ba-da-da-da-da. Do we have anything? Do we have anything? Oh. What are we looking for here? Device? No. I don't think so. Give it a shot. I mean, I'm kind of not sure. Maybe just me, but it feels like something's missing. So we go here. Nope, that's not a thing. Let me add this before I forget. Where's the Costco order at? Boop, boop. I think roommate's looking for a bunch of like small, easy to eat meals. Or easy to cook things that can be done quickly. I think he's getting back to working out a bunch. Ever since the cats got here, I haven't really seen him do any kind of like, really honestly, any kind of working out. Just really hasn't been doing that. I mean, he's been doing like, he's been going for walks at night, but I've not seen him do any kind of like jump rope or weight working out or any kind of that stuff. And I think it's just because he doesn't want to freak the cats out. But they're old enough to be chill right now. I know the smaller of our two cats, she's still kind of skittish around a lot of stuff. Oh, that felt weird. So she'd probably be there. But the bigger of our two cats, Woody, oh my God, he just doesn't care anymore. He's just like for example, today when I was dusting out my my PC, I have a little electric one that I got for Christmas, which is like the best thing I've ever gotten. Because not only is it reusable, not only is it's handheld. You don't get that super tight cold from the compressed air coming out and just turning the can ice cold. And it has like a big handle and you can point it and everything. And it's very nice. So what I do is I take it out onto the porch. I plug it in on the inside and I close the door on the cord. So it's not like completely closed, but it's enough that there's nothing's going to get back in. And then I just go to town. Stormy, the smaller cat, after I was done, she was nowhere to be found. I don't know where the hell she went. She probably went back in my roommate's room and just chilled back there. Woody, on the other hand, was still sitting in his basket, just kind of staring at the door like, what the hell are you doing out there? Because he can see us through there. We've got like the bottom of the blinds open so they can look out. He could see me in there. He just couldn't get to me. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bam. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Oh, I don't need that thing open anymore. Do I have something for the weights now? I'm not sure I have anything yet. I don't know what I'm specifically trying to connect here. I don't see it yet. I was originally going to say it's like, okay, so it's the weight. Do we have his? We don't have his weight. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. It's a metal weight. Weighs. I haven't seen the recreation. Kay, do you remember? I think it was 33 pounds. Heavy thing was used for. Oh. Doesn't seem to be directly related to the circus. Whoa, what is it? The pulleys? I don't understand what I'm supposed to be looking at. She doesn't have anything for me. Mr. Andrews, I just had an epiphany, sir. The killer's... Oh, it's the Invisible Man. Oh. Somehow this killer brought in a murder weapon and nobody noticed and moved the body and nobody noticed? The Invisible Man was the killer. It would explain how all this was possible. Detective, can't be serious about that. I'm not totally sure, but it'd be neat if it were true. Starting tomorrow, you're pairing up with Mr. Devaste. No, please no, sir. Not with that goofy prosecutor. It'll be a perfect match for this goofy detective. What did they say? He wanted to examine the device behind at the well one more time. Is it? Wait. Is it actually the fact that we need to be in the other mode? No, it's not. What does this actual go live tweet on this say? I'll also take a screenshot of that. On my phone, on my watch, it's a bunch of like question mark characters because it doesn't recognize whatever the encoding is. The characters the guy is using during his go live message. The locks on the well? But okay, so it's got to be something that I can point out a contradiction to. There's a logic thing, is there? No, it's just the crate of apples still. Something about this whole setup. Was hanging down below the well grate. I think it was supposed to be the weights, right? Nope. We might take a is it just I don't know. He said there's something missing. Oh. The rope's gone. There's only like part of the rope there. Man, I don't want to have to re-go through that sequence. I should have saved after talking to Gumshoe. It is unfortunate. Yeah, the weight's currently on the ground, but we found 4 more weights. This rope was part of the device used during the show. You know, create such a device with 1 piece of rope. Simon sure. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I just needed to examine the rope again? 1 piece of rope. Seems there's a contradiction with the device. So we needed to examine. I wonder if it was just present the device with the one piece of rope right there. Or if you had to examine the rope and then show it. So we do that. This recreation of the device we saw earlier. There's a major discrepancy. One of the ropes is missing. You're right! Without it, the device won't work. I wonder what happened to it. The missing rope disappeared to. It's possible that we hold the piece of evidence that shows where the rope went. Which piece of evidence shows where the rope went missing to? I was like 2 steps too far ahead. The rope we found with a dead body. Ah! Could it be? Yeah. Could be the other piece of rope that was used here. And does that mean this rope was attached to the weight? However, the weight was not one of these metal weights. These weights were hidden in the grass and replaced with something else. Oh, the dead body. Of course. Do we have his weight? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. It's about 130 pounds? God damn, I wish that... well, no, I don't wish that was my weight. I wish I weighed even remotely close to that. Like, I'd love to live at like I'd love to live at like 220 or 210 or something like that. They were replaced. Then what was used as the weight? It was tied to the rope we found in the workroom. We can recall that, and the answer should be clear. The weight that was dropped in place of the rape is that Mr. Keys had prepped. What dropped down the well? Other than the Knightley's dead body. Mr. Knightley's body was being used as the weight. Yes, the weights were replaced with Knightley's body. Mr. Keys used the device to launch himself off the stage. When the rope that was tied to him was undone and let go, both the body and the rope dropped down the well. The rope wasn't used to tie up Knightley. It was used to suspend him inside the well. That also explains why the other weights were hidden. Ah! So nobody would find the other out. But nobody would find out the weights were replaced with the body. Yeah, the killer was the one who did who hid those weights. But Miles, wasn't Knightley boy stabbed in the neck with the murder weapon? If he was suspended in the well, wouldn't there be blood at the bottom of the well? The killer was also aware of that. That's why they used this item. The sheet we found near the body. It was used to wrap up the body. I see. Looks like all the pieces are starting to come together, eh? But that means the body definitely came from the well. And if that's the case, wouldn't that mean Simon is the killer? No, not necessarily the case. But yesterday George Courtney said, if Mr. Keys was the killer, would he have needed to set up such an elaborate device? I guess you have a point. Mr. Keys was only responsible for dropping the body during the show. In other words, it doesn't matter where the real killer was or what they were doing during the show. Until now, this placed doubt on the people who did not watch the animal show. It's true. We also suspected Mr. Dogan. The true killer's intent was to make us think that the murder occurred during the show. In other words, they used the device to create on the well to create a fake alibi. Miss Barry, do you know when this device on the well was set up?
Let me think. The day before the show, I think it was at night. We all started preparing at 9 p.m. We finished around midnight.
The killer replaced the weights with the dead body afterwards. Did Dogan's know about the device? No. Even if he knew about the device, it wouldn't be possible for him to use it. You can't teach a dog to suspend a body in a well. In other words, Dogan's not the killer. There's one down. Can we do that? Does this connect? Yeah, it does. This cart was moved the night before the show. The body was also switched the night before the show. I don't think it was just a coincidence. Keeping that in mind, the question now becomes, why was the cart moved? It used to be in front of that door. I can think of one reason why. Somebody open that door? All right, let's hurry up and... Oh, the door is locked. Is this a guard? Hey, Mr. Guard! What is it? God, that was fast. Where did they come from? You there. Where's the key to this door? The warden's in charge of it. I'll get it from her right away. The warden is in charge of the keys here, huh? Kind of makes sense. Without the warden's permission, this door can't be opened. Thank you very much! High voltage! It's a circuit breaker panel. This must be the breaker room. On the night before the show, somebody came into this room. I wonder why they would come here. I don't think anyone would confuse the breaker room with the break room. It was definitely to operate the circuit breakers. So someone came here to shut off the power to something? Anything that had its power shut off? What could have had its power shut off by the breaker? Do we have anything for that? Am I on the right one? Is this the right one for it? It's got to be this one, right? Yeah, there we go. I was thinking the security gate, but the security camera actually makes a lot of sense. The security camera footage had a 3-hour gap. Ah! Oh, I see. The circuit breaker for the security camera was tripped. It's highly possible. Was this the killer's handiwork? With the camera down, it'd be easier to move about. The killer would have a major advantage. I knew it! Right into talking afterwards. If that's the case, the killer was the person who tripped the breaker. The person in charge of the keys to the breaker room couldn't be. I've been suspicious of the warden for a little bit. Deactivating the recreation. Oh, I need that healing badly. Oh, I need that healing badly. Oh boy, here we go. I'm first to the scene as always. Oh God, that was even worse than normal. Good morning, Mr. Debeste. What? How'd you get here before me?
Greetings, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I see you've already arrived early.
Or maybe it's you who are late, Judge Courtney.
I have many matters which require my attention. I have no time to waste. Unlike a certain prosecutor who was taken off the case. Oh, my apologies. I had forgotten that you were assisting the defense attorney.
An assistant can never be the best. You fall in like the rest. You just say whatever you like, don't you?
Let us begin the examination of the courtyard, Sebastian.
All right, I'll call the men over. That will be unnecessary. What? We've already finished the investigation of the courtyard. You've been bested. Bested me? Ditch Courtney. Your reasoning from yesterday. Watch me shatter it to pieces.
Try it, bitch. I would advise you to choose your words more carefully. Have you forgotten that the fate of your badge rests in my hands?
I have had enough of such coercion. Can't you think of some other way to threaten me that doesn't involve my badge?
Despite my repeated warnings, you show no sign of reflection. It seems I must remind you once more. The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee cannot leave someone such as yourself unchecked.
Neither the fate of my badge nor the actions of the committee will impede my progress. Proving Mr. Keys' innocence, that is all that concerns me.
Your words are like those of a defense attorney. If you are willing to go that far, then I will show you no leniency. In the name of the goddess of law, shall turn your words against you. And at that moment, you will forfeit the title of prosecutor. You shall regret this.
Hey, bitch. I hate to do this now, but I think I'm gonna have to. It's not a bad spot to stop, like right now before the cross-examination, but we'll take care of that after I go use the bathroom. She's not acting like a judge at all. She's acting like a cleric. She's acting like somebody who has something to hide. Or just someone that completely believes the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee and no one else for some stupid reason. But we'll show her. We'll show her the proper truth of the law. And we'll go from there after the break. All right? Enjoy the music. I'll be right back. Wrong button. There we go. Better buttons. Hello, people. I'm back. I had seen that version of that meme. I had only seen it with you say you're a Mormon. Prove it. I had not seen the Final Fantasy one, but yes. Thank you all for sticking with me through that break. I wasn't really sure when I took the break if I was gonna need it. Like I legit just wasn't. But by the time I ended up going to the bathroom, I definitely needed it. So let's jump back in and start dealing with Judge Courtney. That is the wrong button.
I shared my reasoning with you the day before. As Mr. Albert did not see the body when he passed through the tunnel, it could only have been dropped down the well during the show. The only one who could have performed this act is the suspect.
Naturally. You have evidence to support your reasoning. Of course she does. Who do you think she is?
Earlier, I received the official autopsy report.
Ooh, babysitting that kid must be difficult.
The time before the death was discovered was, in the time before the death, in the time before the death, what the fuck? I read that sentence and then I have no idea what you just said. In other words, the day before the show. The cause of death remains unchanged, stab wound 4 inches deep. Okay. Simon Keyes was not present at the stage for a period of 15 minutes. There was sufficient time for him to drop the body down the well.
She has not investigated the courtyard yet, which means... Ooh, it seems like there's a hole in your argument.
You seem quite confident. Can you present evidence to support your claim?
Oh, of course. You know I can. And I will. What's my battery doing? 47? That's not bad for this time of night. Ah, fuck. Put you back there. Let you charge while I'm auto running shit. So you continue to believe Mr. Keyes is the murderer?
Just as you continue to speak as if he is not. Do you have any decisive evidence? Do you know the identity of the true criminal?
You do realize you need proper evidence too, right?
I'm a representative of the goddess of law. My words are her holy orders. Indeed, if I say something is black, it is black. If I say something is white, it is white.
So what would you call gray?
First to disprove my word, then present evidence at once.
Could it be possible that Albert just failed to notice the body?
Miss Assistant's assistant, did you also enter the hole?
Huh? I mean, how did you know?
I noticed that there was some mud stuck to your lovely hair ornament yesterday.
That's amazing! Your powers of observation would put even a great thief to shame!
In the name of the goddess of law, answer me truthfully. If there were a dead body in that tunnel, it would have escaped you. It would have escaped your notice.
Well, the thing is, yeah, I think I would have noticed something like that.
To understand now, Mr. Albert did not see the body.
The body was dropped down the well during the show? I'd like to hear your reasoning for this.
The day before the show, Mr. Albert lent the key to Mr. Knightley.
The key to Knightley's cell, huh?
Mr. Knightley escaped from his cell with the key and entered the cage as Mr. Keyes prepared. Mr. Keyes then moved the cage to the courtyard and proceeded to murder Mr. Knightley. The next day, when Mr. Albert passed through the tunnel, he did not come across the body.
Please wait a minute. That doesn't seem right at all. Wasn't there a sweet smell coming in the tunnel? Mr. Knightley must have passed through it.
Mr. Mr. Riley passed through the tunnel after Mr. Albert did. Mr. Albert passed through the tunnel at the start of the show, where the body wasn't found until the end of the show.
Which is why you believe that the body was dropped during the show.
Yes, and there is only one person who could have carried out this act.
Let's get all those presses and make sure that we are, oh, God. Make sure we're good to go. There's no one else who could have committed this murder?
I heard that Miss Berry was also present on stage at all times. A number of prisoners were also watching the show. Even the prisoners who did not see it have sufficient alibis.
What about the guards?
Along with the warden. The hell was that noise? That is arguably the weirdest noise I've heard come from outside my window. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Also, I keep forgetting this because I don't look back at this shelf too much during the day. I keep fucking forgetting to take the vacuum away. I need to go put it out in the living room. Because there's no reason for me to sit it, there's no reason for it to sit in my room. I'm not using it that often.
There must have been a chance for even one of them to approach the well.
During the show, none of the guards left their posts. That much is certain. They all testified as such.
Ugh, she's left no room for oversight here. Except for the spot of oversight where, you know, we're gonna destroy her argument.
You finally admit that only Simon Keyes could have been the criminal?
Judge Courtney has not thoroughly examined the courtyard like we have. So there's a bit of a gap in her argument, right? We should review the evidence that we obtained in the courtyard. Okay, so what is the thing that we're going to present to her? Is it the fact that the body was suspended? Does it say this? That's not it. I wasn't bluffing. I was trying to present the right thing. Is it? No, it's not this. Wait. Okay. Okay, right idea. I just had to present it like the only time it could have been done. Unfortunately for you, Judge Courtney, your argument doesn't really hold any water, just like this well. There was a device set up around the well here.
What is this device you speak of?
Are you aware of the stunt in which Mr. Keys is blown away by the elephant during the show?
I have heard of it. It would be right before he exits the stage.
He tied one length of rope to himself and another to a set of weights. He was able to perform the stunt by dropping these weights down the well. Wouldn't he have spent the whole place suspended up in the air? That's why he had a stopper attached to the weights, and the stopper was removed by pulling another rope. Around the well, we found evidence that the weights were switched with the victim's body. This was done by the real killer in order to shift suspicion away from them. Judging from the time of death, the murder was carried out in the early morning of the show. The true criminal had until the time the show started to set up the device. But didn't Simon Keys make that thing? And since he was the only one who used it, he's the best suspect. Don't you agree? If Mr. Keys were really the murderer, he would not have needed to do that. Miss Barry? Oh, I think I actually have them set. No, she's the other direction.
Yes? Was there anyone...
Was there anyone else who knew of the device he set up?
Well, let me see. Because we had to get everything about our show approved by the people here at the prison. I'd say there were others who knew about it.
And there you have it.
I see. You've indeed performed a thorough investigation. Which is why I'm even further perplexed. Why do you not use your efforts for justice?
My actions are not just. Who made that decision?
You cannot understand even that, even now? Providing support to a defense attorney despite being a prosecutor is quite unnatural. This goes against the rules.
I am merely choosing to do what I think is right at this particular time. I travel down the road I have chosen. Your comprehension does not matter in the least. However, if anyone intends to interfere, I will show them no mercy. Perhaps this is a calling from the goddess of the law. If you intend to
rebel against her divine will, I will have no choice but to hand down my verdict. Pay heed to my words. I have one more reason to suspect Simon Keys of murder.
Here we go again, folks.
If the body came from the courtyard, how was Mr. Knightley brought here from the detention center? Only Simon Keys could have provided such an opportunity. Because of this fact, I find it most difficult to suspect any other party of this crime. While Simon Keys was moving supplies for the show, he visited Mr. Knightley's cell. Does that not strike you as odd? Why else would he have brought a large covered wagon with him?
Oh, I mean, that does sound pretty suspicious. Mr. Keys was merely that kind of person. It's entirely possible that he carelessly brought it there.
If that is possible, then it is also possible that he was assisting in the escape. Am I wrong?
Suppose I must refute her theory with evidence. Let's press everything. You seem to believe that Knightley was killed in the courtyard. So, can you say when he was brought here?
On the day of the show, between midnight and 8 a.m. I am positive it could only have been during that time.
So after the rehearsal had ended, he began, and before the show began?
The most pressing issue is...
Huh. Are you certain there were no other routes?
The trial date had not yet been determined for Mr. Knightley. As he was not a prisoner, he could not have easily entered the prison. He would have stood out too much.
Meaning that no one testified seeing him there.
Well done. May you be blessed by the goddess of law. As I said, Mr. Knightley was taken into the prison through the less conspicuous manner.
you certain that he was the only person who had the opportunity?
Have you forgotten? This is a prison. Due to the constant supervision, it would be impossible to do anything unusual.
Then, wouldn't it be the same for Mr. Keys?
The warden has shown favor to the Big Berry Circus. Very Big Circus. I keep saying that wrong. Simon Keys is a circus member, and Miss Berry's apprentice no less. Could have only been him. He was able to move about freely within the facility.
It seems that you forgot to mention that.
The word forget does not exist in my dictionary.
Well, then it would be prudent for you to add this to your argument. Mr. Keys may have been the only person who could move around freely in the prison, but on the day of the murder, there was a gap in time missing from the surveillance records. During that time, anyone could done as they pleased. Do I have proof of this surveillance, of this gap in the surveillance record? Don't I have that proof?
Take that.
Mr. Keys wasn't the only one who had the opportunity. Who else could have had the opportunity? The timestamp on the security camera is off by 3 hours. This means there was a 3-hour gap in time. During that time, anyone could have done it.
If that were the case, the murderer would have created the gap in time intentionally. It would not have been a simple camera failure. Are you saying that's possible?
Oh, it is possible. You had access to this.
Take that.
In this courtyard, we found a sip of drink, the circuit breaker for the security camera, and it was possible to access the breaker room before and after the murder. Ah!
Unfortunately, it appears that you have fallen short of your intentions.
Mr. Antworth hasn't fallen short of anything!
Mm-hmm. So can you explain how the murderer obtained the keys to the break room?
Oh yeah, that's right. It was locked, wasn't it? The warden hangs on to the key, right?
The breaker room has great importance, even in a prison. There is no one who would be able to obtain the keys so easily.
Well, I can think of someone.
What did you say?
This person, the murderer, was able to get the key. They didn't even need to steal it. There can't be anyone like that. Besides, the breaker tied to the electric fences in that room too. Only one person could have done this. I didn't want to believe it in myself, but I trust that my logic is sound. The person who used the key to enter the break room is...
Take that.
Let's go, fucking warden. I was suspicious of her at the very beginning, and then when she was very helpful to us, I was like, well, wait, maybe not. And then the instant she kicked us out at the end of the night before we finished our investigation, I'm like, that was highly suspicious of you. The murderer is walking up to us right now. Warden Roland.
Oh my, what an energetic little puppy.
That's because this dog is extremely fond of sweets. It seems to detect a sweet scent on you.
Oh heavens no, I'm not even wearing perfume or anything of the sort.
What the dog detects is the sweet scent of death.
How poetic. However, that does not imply that I committed a murder.
I mean, that's what I think. You gonna do that again to you? Can you do it? Can you do it a couple more times? Really give it to yourself. What?
The warden is the murderer? Mr. Edgeworth, are you serious about your statement?
Oh, how amusing. The very thought of a warden committing a murder. It sounds like something out of a mystery novel.
Precisely. Your reasoning is in contempt.
Nothing of the sort. I did not want to believe it myself, but based on the evidence, I have no choice but to believe it. This evidence proves that Warden Roland is the murderer. Is it just this? Is it the bell? Are we saying that it's the bell? See, that's the thing. I'm thinking we're past the point of saying that it's this. She would have access to the evidence to put the bell on there, because the bell was confiscated. So there's no reason for that bell to exist in this evidence set. So that's why I'm thinking it's the bell. I'm kind of willing to give the bell a shot first.
Take that.
Nope. Okay. I gave it a shot. That might come up later, but I guess it's just gonna be the circuit breaker. Oh! 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 Oh God! It's the apples! Do I have anything for that? That's the source of the sweet smell. Do I have anything for that?
Take that.
The smell gave you away. As you can plainly see, someone has taken notice.
This police dog?
He tracked a sweet smell that came from the body. And right now, he's telling us that the same scent is also on Warden Roland.
You're a cruel one to accuse me of murder based on something like that. Right, Justine, darling?
It appears that the Judge Courtney has reached the same conclusion I have.
Mr. Edgeworth, this couldn't have just been a coincidence, could it?
The key to the break room and the same scent on the body? If there were only one, could have been seen as such.
It appears we've reached a conclusion. We should now listen to what the warden has to say.
Indeed, until we do, we can't close this case. That is where that's where the fucking apples went. That's where the sweet smell is coming from. She took the apples. Remember they like disappeared? And we were almost certain that they had been eaten, but it didn't make any sense? Right?
So I'm the only one who could have been the murderer? This just cannot be. I heard all about the case from Justine Darling here. Had I committed the murder, it would have taken place inside the holding cell. But I couldn't have moved the body. I never went into the prison. I was caught up in my work until the show. I was stuck in my office. Check up on it if you like. You'll find there's no record of me entering the prison. I don't know what reasoning you had, but I can say for sure, I cannot be the killer.
The missile barked at you, pal. You gotta be the culprit.
Oh, heavens no. It's not possible. I already told you. I never went to the prison. You think I'm lying? Why don't you check the records?
She wants us to check the records? She seems confident. For now, all we can do is listen to her and try to draw out more information.
I do hope you understand, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
From... oops.
Judge Courtney, are you two close?
As close as fish and water. Are you jealous?
Jealous?
On the first day of the investigation, she filled us in on the situation. In exchange for our cooperation, she explained the details of the case to us.
How could you say that? You're so mean, Justine, darling.
Mm-hmm. The truth is the truth, and I believe it should be told as such.
For some reason, these two seem kind of... oh god. Scary. Ah.
Hold it!
How can the murder occurred inside the cell? How can you be certain about that?
Well, everyone else would be under surveillance, right? And the victim's blood was found there, too.
That blood was actually from when he was struck by Albert, but I think it's necessary to inform her of this fact. That doesn't mean it's proven. You know that. Or you do know that. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I just thought of something. I'm gonna do this now before I forget. How much were those? Those fucking Caesar salad packs that my roommate got. If I divide it into 3, that's not a bad meal. How do we spell it? Well, this is actually going to really depend on what my roommate tells me about these kits, because if they're good, like, they're basically everything I like in a salad dressing. And recently, I've actually come around on Caesar salad dressing. I don't know. I think the last time I remember having it before this most recent time, I think I just had really terrible Caesar dressing. Like, really terrible Caesar dressing. And so I had some relatively fresh Caesar dressing from the Italian place that we've ordered from, because they offered a Caesar salad, and I tried the salad dressing from my roommate, and I was like, oh god, this is actually really good. What have I been doing? I just had shit Caesar dressing. I mean, we're getting to the point with our ordering that we need, like, let me look at this, because I'm not going to be available that weekend. This is probably going to be the makeup weekend, and then it'll be the 20th that I'll be able to do my round trip. So if I get it now, I can also get it now and then fucking cook some of that chicken we've got in there. I'm trying to think here. So it's gonna be the 20th is gonna be the next time I'm gonna be able to go to the farmer's market. I've just used the last of the tofu. Although I could just stop at H Mart on my way home. Because I told my parents I would go see them this upcoming weekend. So I think on the way back, I could stop at H Mart and just pick up a few things. Like pick up tofu, pick up like basically all the shit that I could get from going to that store. Or the things I would get from that store that I can't get anywhere else. Or that I guess I prefer to get from that store. Anyways, things that get there. Allow me to pick up a couple extra types of noodles. I am starting to run low on those. We'll see what my roommate says. I'm probably gonna add at least one. I'll decide. You know what? I'm gonna add one, and then I'll come back. Or I'm gonna add 2 to the cart, and then I will decide later if I want 2 or if I want 1. It might be the better option to just only get 1. Or does it like, cause he's talking about it like it doesn't, he didn't have a good system for saving the salad dressing, which, I mean, my option might just be, I take everything the second time off. We'll see what he does, or we'll see what happens with it. Cause I might only get 1 and then just, because work through that. Cause I have 3 things of mapo tofu. The salad would probably be like somewhere between 2 and 3. I see what he's talking about. So it's 2 bags for 5 servings? That's really aggressive. I can only go with 1. And then if I want to order more shit from Costco, we can find more shit to order from Costco. Yeah, there we go. All right. And then I will leave that conversation for later. Doesn't mean it's proven. You know that.
But I see no contradictions in assuming the crime scene was at the detention center.
Hold it!
You never went into the prison? Do you have any proof of this?
My, can't you wait for me to finish?
Because we don't like, worst comes to worst, we order a bag of nuggets, a bag of tortilla chips, and like or even a bag of nuggets, a bag of avocados for my roommate, and a bag of salad, and that's our $35 limit, I think, or our $35 thing. It also sounds like I'm doing an inventory check tomorrow morning when I wake up. So like I'll get up, I'm going to go out into the freezer. I'm going to go out into the kitchen and like basically unpack the freezer for a little bit because we have a lot of shit in there and I don't know everything that's in there. And my roommate doesn't know everything that's in there either. And our third roommate, who is currently off dogs or house sitting for his parents to take care of their dogs, is he doesn't have, I don't think he has anything in the freezer besides like the bag of nuggets that's in there. And there's also other things we could order from Costco. We might need cheese. Next order. Not this order, next order. Anyways. Oh, whoops.
Hold it.
I didn't press this one. And that almost could have been bad. You were in your office the whole time? Nothing strange happened?
Nope, nothing at all.
Were you looking for something?
I'm not too good at tidying up. I always forget where I put everything. The other day, I even lost track of an important piece of evidence.
How could you have made such a grave error?
It's something more to take something from me I wouldn't even notice for an entire year.
I guess it'll be hard to attack with the key to the break room.
On the day of the incident, I was in my office. I was working in there searching for lost items. In other words, I couldn't have gone to the prison, even if I had wanted to. What? Oh. I misread that statement. I'm really glad. I was like, Platinum Game. I thought it said Platinum Games wants to make a Waluigi game. And I'm like, excuse me? No, it says, please make a Waluigi game. And that's just, okay, never mind. I was like, you fucking excuse me? Very confused and very distracted for a second.
Hold it.
You did not enter the prison from the entrance? What if there was another route?
Oh my, are you suggesting something like a secret passage? I don't know if anything like that exists.
It's my firm belief that you did possess an alternate route. A route that was neither an entrance nor a secret passage. The route you used was from here.
Take that.
The barbed wire fence?
You could have moved nightly to your office first. This office directly leads to the garden side of the courtyard. If you had moved through here and passed through the barbed wire fence, you would have arrived at the prison without passing through the entrance or a tunnel.
What is this music? I wonder what Mr. Edgeworth is saying. Haven't you noticed? There's a high voltage current running through the fence.
Yeah, obviously she wouldn't have passed through it like that. The current to the fence could be switched off at the breaker room. And you were the only one who had the key, Warden Roland.
Most amusing. However, the breaker room is located on the prison side of the courtyard. How would the warden have accessed it from the detention center?
Not quite right. Got you there, Mr. Edgeworth.
That's...
If there was no record of her passing through the prison entrance, it would not have been possible for her to turn off the fence's breaker.
Warden Roland was the only one who had access. Don't let this phase you, Miles. But the solution for this, she's gonna get away. Now, Uncle Ray never said, don't think, you know? It's just not good to be stubborn about it. That's all. But wait a minute. Now you think about it, Warden Roland couldn't have done this alone. Did she train the fucking alligator to do this? Did she train the alligator to do this? Did she train the fucking alligator to do this?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you have failed to come up with a new
Dude.
I am not amused. Interrupting my judgment only to be silent.
Thinking. Just blurted out objection. Wherever heard that line before? I have to answer. I won't let this end here. Well, my reasoning is not over yet.
How? How did she use the breaker without leaving the detention center?
Well, it's perfectly possible with this method. We are on a decent clip, so I kind of want to know. I don't want to have to redo a bunch because I haven't saved since I think basically the start of the stream. So let's fix that. What made it possible to turn off the breaker? She had to have a human accomplice. Who could have done it? Who could have done this? Who could have been her accomplice here? One of the animals? Yeah, no, but like one of the guards could have. Frank could have done it. Frank could have gone in and turned off the electrified wire because his bracelet's been broken. It was indeed impossible for one person, but what if there were two? Exactly, just what I'd expect from you, Miles. Yes, you had an accomplice on the prison side.
Enough. I am disappointed in you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What's that, pal? You making fun of Mr. Edgeworth?
The inmates of this prison all wear bracelets. She's gonna prove it for me. Why did he get curious all of a sudden? He knew the body was gonna fall. Ooh, I like it.
If they try and go anywhere they please, they'll set off an alarm. Ah!
You've noticed, this is a prison after all. Not only the prisoners, but the guards too are under constant scrutiny.
So why didn't anybody notice Elbird?
The only ones who are allowed to move freely around are the animals. And they certainly could not have used the breaker. But still.
But it's still possible that a person did it.
Excluding the inmates and the guards, so what kind of person would you say it was?
We can't include the inmates and the guards yet. There was only one person, one whose movement was not restricted. This evidence shows that there was someone in the prison who could move around freely.
Take that!
That is... This is a bracelet worn by the prisoners.
This belongs to a certain model inmate. And it's broken.
What? Who on earth does this belong to?
Give him that waggle. Frank saw it. The warden's favorite inmate. Oh, that's a face. Don't you think it's strange? He managed to keep this hidden while he moved around freely in his daily prison life? Golly, when you think about that, it shouldn't be possible. I'd hazard a guess, but this is because he was a special case. Just like Sir Hondogan in the special cell.
The prosecutor's statement is mere conjecture.
You could find out by simply asking Saul himself. It's my firm belief that Mr. Saul and the Warden Roland were partners in crime. Due to their collaboration, another route surfaces. The real route by which Knightley's body was moved to the prison. There were two obstacles that needed to be dealt with. The security camera in front of Knightley's cell, and the electrified fence in the courtyard. Both of these problems could have been solved with a single stroke, by having Saul switch off the breaker in the break room. Breaker room.
Mr. Edgeworth, could you wait one moment?
Do you still intend to deny it, Warden Roland?
Oh, I give in, I confess. What? Wait. No. That's not how this goes.
Warden Roland, no. This cannot be.
Yes, it's just as he says. Frank Saul and I were partners in crime. Oh, she's going to admit to that, but not to doing the thing.
No way. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. Well done, Miles. At last, we finally have the real culprit cornered.
Like Mr. Edgeworth said, Frank operated the breaker. But we were not responsible for Knightley's murder. Oh, she's going to be like, I did everything other than kill him, but I didn't kill him. Oh, she's trying.
Excuse me?
Warden Roland, whatever do you mean?
Judge Courtney, would the goddess of law hear my confession?
The goddess of law is merciful. She will absolve you. I will clap you in the head with this mallet.
I was being threatened. That's why I had no choice but to do as I was told.
Wait, so who was threatening you?
Sir Han Dogan, that assassin.
Dogan?
It's been going on since that man came to prison. I will never forget that day.
It's always go to the lesser crime, yeah. I'm going to agree to killing in self-defense to say that I didn't murder him. I'm going to say that I stole something, but by being convicted of stealing something, I couldn't have done the murder. It's shit like that.
It seems too easy. When we were both alone, he suddenly said to me,
I have many dogs outside the prison.
Dogs?
Loyal dogs who obey my every command.
I soon realized that what Dogan referred to were not really dogs. It would have been nice if they were dogs. A lot of dogs would have been nice. But his human henchman. And that's not all he said.
You'd better watch how you treat me, if you don't want you and your family to become dog food.
I had no choice. I gave him the special cell. I gave him anything he desired.
Anything he desired? You don't mean the supplier.
That's right. Anything he ordered, I would deliver it to him. An underground dealership. I was the only one who won over Frankie. Frankie? It was simple, but I offered him special privileges within the prison.
In these underground dealings?
Once a week, in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off the two breakers. Oh, wow. I like legit thought she was talking about another person we didn't know about yet. My brain stupidly didn't equate Frankie to Frank Saw It. For whatever reason, my brain just, it's right past it. Once a week in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off the two breakers so I could move from my office to the courtyard without being seen by the security cameras. I would go past the fence and drop the goods down the well near the prison. Oh, and his dog would go and get it. And then I'd sprinkle this perfume over it.
That's the true identity of the sweet scent. I fucking thought it was the missing apples.
The scent of the perfume was the signal for Dogan's dog. After picking up the scent, he would carry the goods to Dogan. Of course, this had to be done while Elberg was away from his cell.
I'm surprised he never found out about it, pal. I kind of thought he was already in on it.
We have a strict timetable in the prison here. Mealtime, exercise time. It's easy to know when he's away from his cell. And since little Rocky is afraid of Dogan's dog, I didn't have to worry about him making noise.
So having full knowledge of the prison's inner workings, she made the deliveries herself? Well, this would ensure there were no slip-ups.
Frankie would turn the breakers back on in the early morning and the delivery was complete. Then I modified the timestamp on the security camera.
You have told us a great deal. Regardless of the law, accept your penitent confession.
As the warden of the prison, how could I have done such a foolish thing? The day Knightley was killed was also a delivery day. It seemed Frankie was working the breakers as usual. But that day I had nothing to send, so I did not go to the courtyard at all.
The secret supplier? The secret of the supply system? So then Warden Roland was...
The police have been searching for Dogan's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but... I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but no matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him.
So the reason you kept on interrogating him...
Yes, it was to find his henchmen. Oh, that's a face. I borrowed all the evidence from the police and carried out the interrogation myself. I kept an eye on his actions. I examined all of his mail.
Mail? Like his correspondence? Chest letters?
But I could never uncover the true identity of his henchmen. This fear is something you could never understand.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, you were listening, right? I'd say this confession clears the warden of all suspicion. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. Is it really necessary to press her further than this?
Is it necessary to press further? You bet your ass there is! Judge Courtney, my questioning isn't over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either.
You mean to badger this woman further?
Even if she was threatened by Dogan, this does not prove she was not the culprit in this case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body.
Do you have any evidence to support this?
The body gave off a sweet scent, the scent of the perfume that was used to signify a delivery. Can you explain this fact?
Oh, of course. Since I have made so many deliveries, the scent would have lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it.
Mr. Albert also testified to this fact.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing for his voice.
The lingering scent in the well would, of course, be picked up by anything passing by.
Ugh.
The defense rests, I see. In that case, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do? What should I do? Is this as far as I can go? Is it already? Is it over already? I wasn't paying attention.
Yes, Sebastian, it is. And now, court is officially adjourned. Who is this?
Who's this gonna be?
Who was that?
Oh, it's not nice of you to adjourn thing. Not nice of you. Oh, fuck, I was trying to... I keep trying to hit a point with his voice, and I'm like... I keep, like... buttsing with it? It's not nice of you to adjourn things like this, Courtney Pie. Mr. Shields.
You objecting to the court adjourning?
Of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn court. Do whatever you like.
What?
Hey, Mr. Shields, what are you doing? Whoa there, calm down, okay? Who wants some chocolate?
Is this a joke?
You'll have to excuse me. I just have one tiny request to make. As Simon Key's attorney.
That's right. The defense attorney. You're the defense attorney in charge of this case, aren't you?
Exactly. Did y'all forget? That's so mean of you. But you just left everything to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all. Yes, that's right. It's why I thought I'd do my job a bit.
Your job? That hardly sounds like you at all.
It's to prepare for the trial. I'd like to ask the warden a few questions.
Surely you jest. What more would you expect to hear from her?
Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit.
My thoughts?
Uncle Ray believes that Simon's not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear you out. Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing? He's trying to lure Warden Roland into testifying. What was the supply route used to transport the body? I'd say it was used to pin the crime on Dogan.
Ah!
I see! If he committed a murder here, he'd be transferred to another prison. One with tighter security. And that would get rid of the troublemaker. Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that. Hey, hold on a second. A culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I was supposed to prosecute. Exactly. So wouldn't it be better if Mr. Debaste also listened to what she has to say? Amazing, Mr. Shields. You managed to drag Mr. Debaste into this too.
Warden Roland, is this acceptable?
Oh, you. It's fine. You understand a woman's heart.
Thank you, mademoiselle.
Actually, I thought this over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You let me speak, won't you, Justine, darling?
Oh, of course. You may speak.
Mr. Shields, that was awesome. That was a really close shave. Oh, thank you, Mr. Shields. No. I'm still leaving the rest to you. Remember what I said? The defense attorney never gives up. The fate of our client rests on our shoulders after all. It'd be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, it's your turn to show you never give up. Right.
Well then, will you listen to my story?
I legit was like, did like we get a last minute entry into someone coming into the fucking courtyard? Because I was like, it might have just happened.
I believe that the culprit in this case could have only been Dogan. I have no idea what transpired between Dogan and the victim. It simply could not have been that Dogan was displeased with him. In any case, he was the only one who stabbed the victim to death. He probably had a dog dispose of the body. This is the truth of the case. The victim, Mr. Knightley, was it? I think it's truly a terrible thing.
Taking a man's life, you mean?
That's how you go about saying it, isn't it? If only I'd been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I want to clear up his regrets.
Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Mr. Knightley in heaven is overflowing with gratitude.
Is gratitude really what Knightley feels? Because I'm not so sure right now. You seem very confident of that. How can you be so sure?
The children of this home are all good little boys and girls. Believe in yourself, believe in your friends, and believe in me and the gods. There's nowhere any of these hard-working children could have committed a murder.
Quite an emotional reason. Makes sense coming from someone like her.
Only Dogan could be capable of something like that.
Knightley was being held in the detention center, and Dogan was in the prison. They couldn't make any contact. Do you think they would? Do you think that would have prevented trouble?
The prison is quite confined, right? There were many ways for them to meet.
Knightley was murdered days before he would have been sent to prison. or sentenced to prison. Surely there weren't many ways a meeting could have occurred.
Even without a direct meeting, Dogan can still cause trouble. Mark my words.
Hold it.
What could Knightley have done in the detention center to displease him?
That was just an example. You don't have to take it so seriously. Didn't I already say that I have no idea what transpired between them? Nevertheless, you certainly are a serious one, Edgewood dear.
What is this? That piercing gaze.
Always standing very straight and stiff, very nice. And looking very clever, my dear. I think I'm about to become your biggest fan. That would be 2 women that Edgeworth has. That. Do we have that information? There's 7, not bad. This person's in like his what, mid-20s? Something like that? Not the worst, but he just can't stop having older women come after him.
That would be the second older woman who's married who's coming after Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, stay focused. It's just a flesh wound. Right. Is this some sort of psychological warfare?
Hold it.
I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder.
Well, I suppose it was simply a job. During his booking, I learned the victim had some kind of injury to his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the back. I remember him saying something like that.
Booking? That's the process one undergoes before being locked up in the detention center. Sounds like you don't know a lot about Knightley.
I only know a little. In any case, it would have been an easy target for Dogan. Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. The victim wouldn't have even had a chance to scream.
I see. Your opinion, it will be a very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony?
Oh, you're making me blush. You're so cute. I'm just kidding. I'll continue. Where was I?
Hold it.
The chessboard?
The thing the victim brought with him. It seems like he really enjoyed playing chess. How could I have guessed that a chisel would be hidden inside it?
That's not good. The chisel and the chessboard? That is only known by a select few people. This was the answer we arrived at from our reasoning after all. So then why does she know about this?
In Dogan's hands, even a chisel is enough to be used as a lethal weapon. Yeah, we know about the chisel and the chessboard. I want to finish presenting her.
Or pressing her, and then I'll talk about it. Oh my god. Certainly seem to hold some strong feelings towards Dogan.
That's just natural from my interrogations. That man, no matter how much evidence we find, he's still as slippery as a snake.
You got a lot of guts.
That smug look he has on his face when he returns to his cell. Just thinking about it makes my stomach churn.
Sort of understand how you feel. Do you mean to say the dog threw the body into the well?
Dogan has more than just one dog. Not just that black one, you know. Didn't I tell you? He has henchmen outside these walls as well.
You mean his henchmen inside the prison aided him in his crime?
Of course not. They'd have been caught by the security gates. But think about it. Wasn't he the supplier? It's not hard to think he had dogs in the prison too.
Oh, well then why don't you tell me the names of those so-called dogs?
If I knew that, I wouldn't have gone through so much trouble. In any case, it's still a possibility. Please try to consider it.
Question. I can't I pursue this line of thought any further? Warden Rowland's testimony is covered in lies. If I pick them apart one by one, her true colors will surely be revealed. Alright, so let's go with this. Didn't Keys bring this to him though? I mean, that's also a really good question. Among many other things. Warden Rowland, you certainly are sharp-witted.
Hey, enough with the titles. Call me Patty. P-A-T-T-Y.
However, there's something you are a little too knowledgeable about.
Hoo. Embarrassed? You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth, dear.
Yeah. Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth. You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how do you know about the chisel inside the chessboard?
Oh, of course, the entrance check.
Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check? The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keys. He didn't even have it when he arrived here.
That's my mistake. I meant the parcel check.
Even if we assume that, there are still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated? Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trick to this chessboard?
I did not.
No information. If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could not have examined this during the entrance check or the parcel check.
Certainly, someone in the warden's position would never have let a chisel slip by.
Exactly. So to answer this, Warden Rowland, when and how did you learn about the chessboard's secret? In that case, shall I answer it for you? It's because...
I give up, Edgeworth, dear. It's as you say.
Huh?
I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about it. The chessboard. But please believe me, I didn't kill anyone.
Enough. It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more, if that's all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
No, there's no objections here. Yeah, so, the new local esports scene in Atlanta is this cool place called 404 Esports. They're doing what is their schedule this week? It is, so Wednesday they're doing regular fight night, which I think is usually Tekken. Thursday is Smash. Friday they're doing an exhibition, and then Saturday they're doing a tournament with like the Tampa Never Sleeps people. So they just had their Smash tournament registration fill up, an 80-person tournament fill up registration in 2 minutes. That's really fucking good.
Thank you, my dear Edgeworth. Edgeworth, dear. I'll do my best.
Well then, Warden Roland, I trust there will be no lies from here on out.
Her pool of lies is slowly running dry. Soon I will bring out her true nature.
I wouldn't go so far as to call it an interrogation. I always make sure to talk to all the new arrivals. Mr. Knightley, yes, we had a little chat. After our talk, he went right back to his cell, I assure you.
He wouldn't have had the chisel?
At that point, she's piling lies on top of lies, not realizing that it only tightens the noose around her neck.
You speak with the new prisoners, you say?
That's right. I'm glad you understand.
Your testimony is not solid evidence. It requires more than just understanding. Who the fuck out there is shooting rifles? What the fuck? I know there's a gun range down the road, but no way. Or setting off firecrackers. I mean, I guess it is Memorial Day, so people would be setting off fireworks and shit, but like, motherfucker, it's almost 11 o'clock here. Who is out there doing this shit at 11 o'clock at night?
Well then, Professor Edgeworth, Prosecutor Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
How did you know the chessboard held a chisel? Oh. So we figured out that Dogen, and I can go to the evidence here. And I'll flip it so I can look at the evidence. So Dogen had 3 chisels. This is the 4th chisel in the prison. This is the chisel that shouldn't exist. It is a small enough chisel that it could fit inside the chessboard. 5th, there was one more chisel that didn't exist before. However many the fuck it was, there was one extra in this prison that should not have existed because Dogen didn't have it. That chisel could fit in this compartment, and we surmise that it came in this way. Not to mention the fact that we know that this bell, that the thing I was talking about earlier, this bell should not exist because Dogen had it confiscated because it was attached to the knife that he got that got taken away from him when he was arrested. So one of them is attached to the knife that he had previously that got taken away. The other one is attached to his dog, Anubis. The fact that this chisel was used to kill the victim and had a bell on it is a bell that should never have existed. The bell couldn't fit inside the chessboard section. It's just too big. It's too thick. So if the bell was in the confiscated personal belongings of Dogen when he came in, how the fuck is the bell going to get there normally? Well, somebody who has to have access to that evidence, or who would be, you know, requesting every piece of evidence on Dogen possible to bring in so she could have access to it. And we also know that that we don't know how the chisel originally got in there. We don't know originally why it was in there in the first place. But we're like, this is the only place it could have come from. You certain you interrogated him the day before the show?
Yes, around 3 a.m. on the 27th.
3 at night? That matches the time of death of Mr. Knightley's autopsy report. You summoned him that late at night and he wasn't sleeping? Oh, hey, burp, burp, derp, derp. That's what I get for having Discord up over the top of the bottom of my screen, because I would have noticed real fast that I was not on the right one.
Well, a guard was attacked in Knightley's cell, remember? Oh, that's what that does? I didn't know that. Okay, well, that explains how I've been swapping scenes occasionally and didn't know what the fuck was happening because I didn't hit any of my scene keys. It suddenly explains it. If I've clicked over onto OBS and happen to have selected a scene, the scene section, I can hit X, like in this case the letter X, to swap to all of the scenes that start with the letter X. Because here's the stupid thing, I keep all of my old scenes. I have every old scene that I have ever used. Ever. I don't get rid of them. As stupid as that is, I just don't get rid of them. But I kept wondering how the fuck would it go there? And now I know. After the incident, we checked up his cell and inquired about the circumstances. I'm sure that all that excitement had made it hard to sleep. Natalie was wide awake, you know.
So even though it was highly irregular, you still carried out this late night interrogation?
Edgeworth, dear, you're so mean.
Yeah.
It may have been irregular, but the truth is I had him moved. You can call it what you like. It still doesn't change the facts.
Please excuse him. I'll give my incompetent apprentice a good old scolding later. But for now, mademoiselle, what do you mean when you said you had him moved?
I thought it was obvious, monsieur. I spoke to him in my office.
Her office? How'd she used to move Natalie's body? Please add that to your testimony.
Woohoo! But of course. Around 3 a.m., the day before the show, the victim was brought to my offices. And where is your office located exactly? Oh.
Where's your office located exactly?
You know that sign in the takes to the hallway?
You mean the one that says no entry?
Yes, just a short walk up that aisle, about 5 minutes from the cell block.
I've heard that room exits into the courtyard.
Of course. That side of the courtyard is my private garden. Oh, I get it. You're going to say I used that route to move the body.
Indeed. You must have been able to use it if you used that route. You must have been able to use it if you used that route.
For now.
Oops. For now, that is merely a possibility. There is no decisive evidence to support it.
There's no other way the body could have been moved.
Surely you haven't forgotten my theory that Simon Hughes dropped the body in the well.
That's right, what she said. Pursuing this point further was hazardous. The chisel with the bell either doubled as a knife or was the confiscated knife before it was modified. Ooh. Because this is still a very wobbly case. I still think it's the warden, but I'm not sure. That's the third of those fireworks going off. What is going on out there? What did you talk about?
Oh, what indeed? It was just a trifling conversation. What kind of animals he liked, what his hobbies were, that sort of thing.
Hobbies? Assumed you mentioned chess.
Oh yes, that was all Knightley would ever talk about. Now that I think about it, he noted he had a note in his room. It probably had something to do with the chest, too.
It's a Warden Roland note. Saul Knightley's note? Oh. What was Knightley like during the interrogation?
4. Count them 4 fireworks going off that I've heard in the past like 10 minutes. He was very honest.
Mr. Knightley was honest? Honest, pal?
He also talked about a croissant and had some kind of promo.
En passant and chess piece promotions, I assume. Looks like he was his usual chess-loving self. If he really returned to his cell, there would be no way he'd be a corpse right now.
I know you're suggesting that I killed him during the interrogation, but couldn't possibly have had a motive to kill Knightley. 5. Dogan was the only one I hated, and he had no connection to the victim.
I hated Dogan. Please add that to your please add that statement to your testimony.
Dogan was the one I hated, and he had no connection to the victim. We know what to present now.
The one who hated was Dogan. Am I correct on that?
Yes, threatening me and doing whatever he wants in this prison. That man, I will never forgive him. I will do whatever it takes to corner him. His black dog, too. They aren't fit to live in my home. She's fucking possessed at this point.
She's literally brimming with hostility, even towards Dogan's dog. At first glance, it would seem she has no motive for killing Knightley. However, her hostility extends to anyone connected to Dogan. If I consider that, the answer will naturally follow. She chats with the criminals? Weren't sure as easy going, sir. Easy going? She killed one of the criminals, you know. Since the guy was handcuffed, it probably would have been a really one-sided affair. Warden Roland has to be the killer. I have faith in my reasoning so far. All right, let's jump down to here. 7.
Objection!
7 fireworks that have gone off in the past 10 minutes. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Looks like a record of a chess game. Is something wrong with it?
This was discovered in the victim's cell. It was Knightley's memo. Warden Roland, you also discovered this note in the very same place. And it's not just in Knightley's cell, but in Dogan's cell too, correct?
What did you...
Don't you say that you don't know about the chessboard in the special cell. After all, you would have kept an eye on Dogan's actions, down to the smallest details. No, to be more precise, it wasn't Dogan that you needed to keep an eye on. The warden was searching for Mr. Dogan's henchman! From the start, I found it strange that the warden interrogated the prisoner personally. He was sending orders through fucking chess correspondence? What a sneaky fucker! It just hit me! It's strange that the warden interrogated the prisoners personally, since he used his henchmen to threaten to harm her family. Warden Roland interrogated Dogan to expose them.
So, what are you saying?
As you inspected Dogan's mail, you must have known that he played correspondence chess. And that Knightley appeared with a chess memo in his hand. We deduced that he and Dogan were connected. You must have... Oh, by the way, 8. You must have also arrived at the same conclusion as well. However, you went one step too far in your reasoning. You thought Knightley was one of Dogan's henchmen who'd come to kill you. So that's why you interrogated Mr. Knightley, the Knightley boy. The boss wasn't gonna go after his henchmen. So I don't know. I don't think Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen, but I do think that's how Dogen was sending information out. That's my guess. In addition, you discovered something when you were interrogating him. Inside his chessboard, you found a portable chisel.
A murder weapon?
To warn Roland, the chisel was a symbol of Dogen. And that was the final straw. You believed Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen and you killed him. It seems there will be no rebuttal. Judge Courtney, your verdict.
It was incredibly unfortunate. There seems to be no room for doubt. I shall announce my verdict. For the murder of Horace Knightley, that's gonna be... what's her face? Twice, my sacred verdict has been interrupted. Who was that? Oh, excuse me, 9, by the way. I got people that have questions that need to be answered. Like, if it really was from the chess letters, I figure she would have found out fairly fast. Because there wasn't much on them. It depends on how they were encoding messages. I also probably need to put this up here, too. $11. Yeah, like, it depends on, like, my get... Are you fucking kidding me? One time I don't have a napkin within close reach of my fucking desk. Go a little faster. Have you ever come up with what the reference for Dogen's name is? I think it's like... I think it's like... maybe a reference to, like, his seen eye dog as, like, a hand dog or something? I've never been able to figure out exactly what it is. 12. What is going on out there?
Outside for me to get away with this? Is it cool enough outside for me to get away with this? Because it's 77 alarm. It is 66 outside. You bet your ass it's cool enough. You guys might actually hear the pops now.
13. Oh, I should also,
1, 2, 3.
crank my fan up to maximum. That animal around her neck needs to also be part like half black. Warden Roland?
How strange. You guys really don't understand anything at all.
It seems that you're the one who does not understand is you. Sirhan Basara Sirhan was the name of a man who assassinated U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy. JFK's brother, Dogan, is a play on dog. There's also the name of the Japanese. Oh, okay. So they just sort of combine shit. That is one I would not have gotten because I didn't know who killed JFK's brother. There you go. Sounds like the one who doesn't understand is you.
Me? Oh, I understand one thing very well. There's a huge contradiction in your logic, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ooh. Once she's cornered, she starts spouting nonsense. Pay no heed, Judge Courtney. Your verdict.
I am interested in hearing what the warden has to say.
Excuse me?
I thought so. I just have one thing I want to say.
Oh, one? That's the thing he caught up on?
Please take a good look at the autopsy report.
The autopsy report, the one I brought with me?
I heard exactly what you said earlier, Justine, darling. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. Oh my God. Was the chisel not the murder weapon? Was it actually the knife? Was it actually his knife and she fucking took the bell off of it? Oh, somebody was talking about a knife earlier. Somebody was talking about it.
4 inches?
No way, not 4 inches.
Could that tiny chisel have really made that wound 4 inches deep? Hey,
sometimes you call your shot, not even intending to hit the target, and the target fucking moves in front of you. Impossible! Inconceivable!
How could I have made such an error? Oh, forgive me, goddess of law.
Well, I believe that overturns your hypothesis. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
What do we do? It'll be alright, pal. Mr. Edgeworth always... Whoa, hey now. He's gone all white. Hey, you're a defense attorney, aren't you? Isn't there something you can do, pal? Do that turnabout thing. Make the earth-shattering objection. Uncle Ray's a hard worker, but without decisive evidence, we're kind of whipping a dead horse here. Does that mean it's hopeless? Come on, Edgeworth. Do it. The true killer is Warden Roland. If it's not her, then nothing that happened fits. But the chisel isn't the murder weapon. Are there any other sharp objects here?
There are still many mysteries remaining in this case. However, we do not have the evidence to solve them at present time. We have no choice but to continue this battle in the courtroom.
Objection.
But
Well, that would just give the killer a chance to destroy evidence.
are you mocking the court?
No. I didn't mean anything by it like that. You look perplexed, Miles. Thought of anything yet? The Chisel's not the murder weapon. In that case, what is? It's no use. We're back where we started.
No objections, Prosecutor Edgeworth. By the way, any baseless statements will be punished accordingly. Oh, so no pushy-wushies.
It's no good. I can't think of anything. I need more time. I regret to say this, but... who said it now? No, Mr. Edgeworth, remember what Mr. Shields said? If we give up, Simon will... Have you forgotten that sad look on his face? Okay, I really couldn't see his face because he kept covering it and not looking at me and turning away and cowering in the corner in fear. He was the one who suffered the most from Knightley's death. If we can't save him, who will? Besides, Simon believes in us. Is that another motherfucker back there? Is that another motherfucker on my desk? There's actually two motherfuckers. Holy shit. Wait, hang on. I'm running out of napkins. The streets will flow with napkins if I don't do something about it. Simon believes in us. Wait, oh. So we can't give up. Okay. Miles, looks like you found a good partner. It's like little Kay says. Whenever you're backed into a corner, think of your client. Keep fighting to the very end. Isn't that the feeling you're getting? Gregory, your old man. No matter what trouble he faced, he would always turn things around and save his clients. You got his blood in you, right? In that case, you're the only one who can turn this around. Judge Courtney.
Look in your eyes has suddenly changed. If you do intend to speak, you better be prepared to face the consequences. Your logic thus far has been misplaced numerous times. If this were to happen again, I will consider you unfit to call yourself a prosecutor, and you will hand over your badge. That's right. It's been a while since I've saved. How
thoughtful of you to ask. My reasoning about this case has indeed been misplaced numerous times. Have I made a grave miscalculation? Wait. My logic is misplaced?
Still silent? I cannot condone this waste of time. Well then.
Mr. 14. Mr. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth!
I will announce my verdict.
That's it. I have to turn my logic around. My logic isn't misplaced. It's been misled.
This court finds the defendant, Simon Keyes.
Give him that head waggle. Yeah. Isn't it a little too early to hand down a verdict?
I actually think it's rather late. Don't you agree, Justine, darling?
Enlighten us.
What?
Try to remember the eyewitness account about the dog, his absence from the animal show. When I first heard that information, my suspicion immediately fell on Dogan.
I'm amazed you take such pride in retelling your previous failings.
But was that not the killer's aim? What if we assumed that was their intention from the start? Of course, the chisels serve the same purpose. Knightley's body was stabbed in the same spot with multiple sharp objects. This shows that he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon was removed. By soaking this chisel in Knightley's blood, the killer wanted to mislead us into thinking the chisel was the murder weapon. Why? Well, that's because... Why did the killer want us to think the chisel was the murder weapon? Warden Roland made use of this chisel's image.
Chisel's image? What are you trying to say?
Mr. Davaste, when you see this chisel, what does it suggest to you? Something like, Dogen's the killer, right? Now, do you understand? That was the warden's aim. Ah! She wanted to suspect the person with the chisels! Indeed. That was her plan from the very beginning. To make Sirhan Dogen out to be the killer.
I understand your logic. It is true the warden did not think kindly of Dogen, but you understand, don't you? This alone does not prove she is the killer.
As I thought, it's not enough. The remaining chance is for me to find the real murder weapon.
If you have no more evidence, I believe this conversation is over.
If I could prove it, I could prove it if I found the real murder weapon. It doesn't matter what you say. We did a clean sweep of this place.
It is as Sebastian says. In the end, we could not find any weapons. In other words, such proof is impossible. No.
Oh, the murder weapon must still be somewhere in the prison. As long as this exists. The security gate? Oh, you remember its name after all. Are you mocking me? It's because of those things that you can't take metal objects in or out of this place. Ah. Oh, shit, it is in the gator. That's the metal object we detected earlier. Oh, God. It is. Oh, fuck. As long as those security gates exist, the murder weapon should still be here.
That also means no weapons could have been brought into the prison. In the end, we're back to the same mystery after all. Fucking right. We've been trying to fucking investigate that goddamn gator for, like, the entire time we've been out in this courtyard. And now we know what's in there.
Judge Courtney?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, surely you've realized, if the real murder weapon is still in the prison, one must also consider how it got there in the first place.
The chisel was concealed within the chessboard. We know that. But the chisel's not the real murder weapon, which means the real murder weapon must have been smuggled in somehow. The way it was smuggled in, can you prove that? How Warden Roland brought the weapon to the prison? The interrogations. Yeah! Yes! Yes! She brought evidence from the precinct to do this. That's it. She could have used that. This shows another way the weapon could have been brought into the prison. Is it specifically the bell? I think it's the bell. Right? It's got to be the bell here. Because nothing else that we have shows evidence transferal. It's got to be. Yes. Got it. Yesterday, Dogen said this. Curious thing.
Yes, my bells, there are only 2 in the world.
Only 2 in the world?
They're custom made, attached to my knife and Anubis's collar. Even though I can only rely on my ears, I can easily identify them. Alas, one has been confiscated and is not in my possession.
It's possible the murder weapon was brought in as confiscated evidence. What? Dogen's knife was confiscated and stored on the premise. Furthermore, a bell was attached to the knife.
It can't be. The bell and that chisel?
Exactly. The killer took it from the knife and reattached to the chisel. But only the fingerprints on the chisel are Knightley's. The killer probably wore gloves when they made the switch. She made the chisel out to be the murder weapon by attaching Dogen's bell. By doing so, made Dogen appear to be the culprit. Furthermore, the handling of the set of evidence that this bell originally belonged to was only possible for someone with proper authority. Who, sir? Who had the authority?
Why don't we ask the warden what she thinks?
You can't find any bells anywhere. Anyone could have attached it, right? There's a variety of Australian hawk that will intentionally start fires to scare prey into coming out of hiding where it can be caught. Man, fuck Australia. They got like super mutants down there. I swear there are super mutants in Australia at this moment, and we just haven't discovered them.
I see you don't know. These bells are Dogen's trademark. There are only 2 in the world.
What?
Also, attaching the bell would naturally make you the killer.
You have evidence that I have the knife? You don't you?
Oh, of course. I understand. In that case, Mr. Davaste, I'd like to request an investigation immediately. But if you find it, it'll probably be problematic for me. That doesn't matter now. It's necessary that we reveal the truth. You are a prosecutor, are you not? Well, even if you say that. This fucking useless prosecutor. If only I had still had investigative rights. Besides, we can't investigate without the warden's permission, right? There's no way she would approve. We have no choice but to investigate ourselves.
If you don't have the evidence, there's no use in continuing this conversation.
The goddess of law does not smile upon those with no evidence. This will have to be continued in the courtroom.
Oh, if we gave the warden any more time here, she'll definitely destroy the evidence. It seems like I have no choice but to raise an objection and stall for time. But I don't have anything definite. Is that really acceptable? Is it really like me to do something this reckless? No. Not good. Now's not the time for hesitation. Right now, I'm not a prosecutor. I'm an attorney's assistant. I need to protect my client. I'm the only one who can save him now. In that case, he's in the corner, cowering in fear because I happen to talk to him. Even if it's a 1 in a million chance, I have to take it in. I have to take it. It's sink or swim. Should I raise an objection? You bet your ass. Wait, what's extra fucked? This feels like I've turned into a certain bluffing defense attorney. But right now, I can't come to a standstill here.
Hold it. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what now?
I I just realized something.
And what would that be, pray tell?
Naturally, the whereabouts of the real murder weapon. Dogen's knife. Wait, Mr. Edgeworth? Is it really true? Yes. I mean, it's a lie, though, but yes.
I find that hard to believe. This isn't a bluff, is it?
You underestimate me. The word bluff does not exist in my dictionary. This is bad for my heart. How the fuck does Wright do this all the time?
There's no way you could. No, because such a thing doesn't even exist.
Well then, could you enlighten us? What's the real murder weapon?
Think. Somewhere in the police, some of the police didn't look. A blind spot in this animal-filled prison. A hiding place the warden would have complete confidence in. Hiding place? Come to think of it.
It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth.
The same method? No, it couldn't be, could it? But there aren't that many ways to hide things from an investigator's eye.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting?
It's possible, but I'm taking a big gamble here. The place where the real murder weapon is hidden is here. I'm actually specifically going to drag it like right there.
Here? In the courtyard?
Indeed.
That's not enough information. Please show us in more detail.
Where's the real murder weapon hid? Come here, big boy. There's actually 3 kinds of birds that do that shit in Australia, and at least one is protected by law. Fuck. Fuck. That's it back then. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It looks like the metal detector's reacting to this alligator. Really? Why? Of course, that's why the metal detector reacted. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to take a look at this.
The chisel?
Wasn't that just a fake murder weapon? Dogen hid this chisel inside his dog's mouth, and the real murder weapon is hidden very much in the same way. The real murder weapon is in the pond inside the alligator. What? Ugh! We can confirm that the metal detector reacted to the alligator. Judge Courtney, please have the insides of the end of this alligator examined.
I give my consent. We'll have to call a veterinarian.
Oh, whoops. Where the hell were you at? You were up here?
I can make that little girl open her mouth. Can I help, please? Can I? Oh, thoughts in chat. Hang on. I'm also gonna go ahead and report it while I'm sitting here. Spam or malicious links. Sending malicious links. Get fucked. He's getting a lot of red welts on his face. That's all I got to say. And good on it, because fuck him. Alright, close that, because I don't need that up.
Yes, please, go ahead. Oh, excuse me. Warden Roland. Discovering the real murder weapon will settle this matter once and for all. Why don't you just do us the honorable thing and confess now?
Why would I have to confess?
In that case, you just wait for your fate to be sealed.
Uh,
We found it, sir. Just where you said it would be. It's over. Patricia Rowland, the real murder weapon is none other than Dogen's knife. And the one who murdered Horace Knightley can only be you.
Dogen was the evil one. I didn't do anything wrong. I was completely reasonable. That guy was one of Dogen's henchmen. Him. If only he had never come to my home. I could at least still be happy. My special paradise. He ruined all of it. Him. That no good assassin. Him.
Oh,
Well, she was bigger than I thought she would have been.
March 28th, 12:34 p.m., Detention Center hallway.
Mr. Devaste of the best. We have the results.
Devaste of the best? Even the forensic officers have it tough.
We found traces of Knightley's blood on Dogen's knife. It was just like you said. You're the best, Mr. Devaste.
All right, good job, but don't stop there. Keep the praise coming.
Yes, sir, you're so incredible. It brings tears to my eyes.
From sorrow? It was it honestly was not it was, like you said, very fast one, but very good. I was not expecting her entire coat to just be critters. I legit thought it was just a coat and she was like hiding something underneath it. Turns out it was a prison uniform and a very form-fitting one.
Well done, Sebastian. Next comes the follow-up investigation.
What are you talking about, Justine? Hasn't the case been solved already? We have not yet confirmed if Knightley truly was one of Dogen's henchmen. There's also a chance that Warden Rowland jumped to conclusions. Oh! Well, that is the remaining uncertainty in this case. Anyways, let's keep investigating. I guess that was supposed to be the transition of she's going from the warden when she's in the full, like, critter outfit to a prisoner now that she's killed somebody. I don't know why the fuck she was wearing the prison uniform underneath to begin with, but, like, it was a nice transition. Hey, you there, come with me. Since I'm the best, the truth will appear before me first. When that moment arrives, make sure you don't miss it.
Yes, sir. I'm always looking forward to witnessing your first-rate abilities.
Let's go.
I hate my life.
What is this? What have you done? What is this? Oh, yeah. Why is Twitch acting weird? I think the clip is acting weird on my end. I'll have to look at it afterwards because we're almost done for the night. Let's finish the case and then I'll take a look at it. A little bit.
We live in troubling times, wouldn't you agree? The would-be assassin of a president was found murdered in the prison.
Knightley had not yet planned to assassinate the president.
The truth is not as vital as you seem to believe it to be. Not only to the world, and not to the law.
Well, that can't be right.
Believe what you will. However, as long as Prosecutor Edwards remains a prosecutor, it is an inescapable reality.
A prosecutor is not someone who demands a guilty verdict. That is what I believe.
Those are merely your values. The law is not the plaything of any one person. If you will not submit to that, you will do well to prepare for the consequences.
Well, what's that supposed to mean, pal? Don't tell me you're gonna...
Now then, this is where I must take my leave, Prosecutor Edgeworth. It's one of the better freakouts, like legit. She literally thought she was not only she
Literally thought that not only was she defending herself, she's defending her family, she was taking out somebody that was working with Dogen because all the pieces just happened to line up. Now, I don't know why the fuck Knightley had a chisel on him or even in his possession anywhere. But I imagine that's something that might come up in the next case or two. This was a long-ass case, by the way. Judge Courtney's right. The law should not serve any one person's desires. However, if the truth is bent as a result of that, can that really be called justice? Oh, fuck. What did I even do for your voice? Think this was you? Oh, God. There's a lot of
Swapping gonna happen here. Simon!
Boss!
What happened? They said you could come out already?
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't know for sure. But all of a sudden, they were like, you're free to go, and you should thank Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, that's because he found out who the real murderer was.
Really? It Mr. Edgeworth? Oh God, no, if you glare at me like that, it's useless. I'm gonna go hide in the corner now.
Oh,
Whoops. Regina's voice is supposed to be up here. I
I
fucking...
can hit Dogen's voice all of a sudden.
Whoopsies! Dogen had no contact with his outside men, and this is his way to get revenge for something. Oh, see, I could see that as well. He knew she was looking for his henchman, and randomly a motherfucker shows up that's getting arrested. That could be something Dogen, like, puppet mastered from the side. I'm guilty. I mean, listen, after all, you can't make me guilty. Simon, you should thank him, you know? You're right. Thank you very much. I want to thank you, too.
Good grief.
Mr. Defense Attorney, can I ask you just one more question?
Yes, you may. But I'm not a defense attorney.
I thought that Knightley and I were friends. No, I mean best friends. I always thought we were.
You don't think so anymore?
Well, I'm just wondering. There were some things I had no idea about. Like how he could hate someone enough to kill them. That's why maybe he never trusted me either.
Simon, that's not true.
You're lying. Because if I hadn't known I could have stopped him, I would have told him he had no need to be angry with anyone.
Mr. Keys, I don't think he disliked you either. Is this going to be present the chessboard? Let's show him the proof that Knightley trusted him.
That's what I gave to...
Knightley hid a chisel inside, most likely to aid in his escape.
Escape? He used me?
He trusted in you. He knew you would bring it to him without looking into it and without question. And in doing just that, you were caught up in everything.
Knightley, you idiot!
Looks like he gets it.
Simon's not that dumb Simon's not as dumb as he looks after all. I'm sure he'll be back to normal by tomorrow.
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
Ooh, I'll be strong. I'll become a splendid wild animal tamer for Knightley's sake.
Excellent. That's the spirit.
I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. Fucking Maximilian Galacticus. I'll also be performing in it. The Berry Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages.
You know, that sounds like fun. Let's go, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I'll think about it.
Well, we need to get back to practice right away. You'll be with Regent today. Take the tiger. No, 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 no.
He'll be fine. He's a good boy.
No way. There's no way he'll be fine, man.
Did he run into the prison?
Please cut me a break. God, she dragged him off.
Well, there they go. But man, bravo, bravo. You really put on a good show today, Miles. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Shields. That's your help. She might have gotten away with it. Not to mention allowing us to continue the investigation. Oh man, cut it out already. Cut it out already. You're gonna make me blush. I never know when you're being serious. Just can't tell anymore. Uncle Ray's always serious. How was it, Miles? How did it feel to be a defense attorney? To save people. A defense attorney? But that really took me back. It was just like being next to your old man again. It's been a while since I felt that this good. It was, well, somewhat difficult to say it was a good thing. Come on, Miles. You sure you don't want to be a defense attorney? What? You know, pick up where your father left off. I know. Don't you want to save people like he did? What are you talking about, pal? Mr. Edgeworth's the prosecutor. But is it really unusual for a prosecutor to become a defense attorney these days? Unusual isn't the problem here. Hey, don't be so upset. It's normal, you know. It's normal. It's not.
Normal, pal.
You all make for a powerful defense team. Mr. Shields, I'm a prosecutor. And Uncle Ray's a defense attorney. That's why. I'll be serious about this. Well, that's just my opinion. Feel free to drop by anytime if you have a change of heart. I'll be waiting for you. Following my father's footsteps? Me? Become a defense attorney? God, what do I even do for this?
What the fuck I even do for this? No, don't do that. I'm gonna become a defense attorney just like my dad.
Should I become a defense attorney? Like my father? This was an absolutely massive case. Holy shit. Like that was a long case. I don't know why you would ever not want to save your stage data. I don't know. All right. Y'all ready to look at the next case? At least check it out. The Inherited Turnabout. What's for dessert today?
And Jeff Mess's Piece of Cake.
I don't think the ROM was doing something right there. I'm cranking the volume down. This program sure brings back memories. Gregory, tomorrow I'm heading towards that fateful place with your son to find out the truth of 18 years ago. Wait, but we know the truth of 18. Oh. What the fuck? Okay, I have no idea what's even going on. No clue what's happening here. Okay, so April 2nd, 10:05 a.m., Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. And that is where we will stop for the night. And that was a little weird. I don't know if that was just the emulator deciding to glitch out for a moment there, or like, if that part of the ROM's bad. I hope that's not a consistent thing that we have to deal with. Because that would be, unfortunate. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for being here tonight. You guys have all been awesome. I'm glad we finished this case, because I kept looking at this going, when the fuck is this case going to finish? What the fuck is happening? How does this keep happening? But we'll pick up the next case tomorrow. Try to do it at the early time this week because I'm on support lead. My God. I was like, it was like, I could tell you, I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the set, but the moment that Judge Courtney, or not Judge Courtney, but that Warden Roland basically went from like helping us out and talking to us about things to, you gotta leave. It's closing time. Your investigation can wait. I went, what are you doing, lady? And that is the instant she like jumped onto my suspicion radar. That was the instant. Because like at the beginning of I don't know if it was either this day or the beginning of the section where we were investigating the courtyard, I was like, it could have been Dogan still. It was not likely. It could have been Elbird, but I wasn't sure. It could have been the Warden, but I really wasn't sure because I didn't have any way to really lead into her. Or I was like, it could have just still been my client, because I didn't know. But it worked out, so it works. Let's see where this case is going tomorrow, and we will keep going. All right. Thank you all for being here. You guys are all awesome. If you're new here, hit the follow button over by my name. Then let you know when I'm live. Hit the bell for notifications. And then, well, we found Elbird. Elbird wasn't able to leave the prison, so he disguised himself as a prison guard and was just walking around. So, I mean, we caught him again, so he's back in jail. Probably in a different jail cell, so he doesn't fucking dig out or use the same tunnel. And they're probably also going to be doing multiple regular inspections of his entire cell from floor to ceiling, like moving everything and make sure that shit doesn't happen again. But yeah, tomorrow we'll pick up with this third case and we'll see what happens with it. All right, I'm gonna head out for the night. Thank y'all for being here. Before I leave, with one kindness from each and every one of you. You should have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day, whatever happens to be wherever you are at. We'll see y'all tomorrow for more Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We have case 3 to start, and who knows where this case is going. All right, later.